It all starts when I was born in Thousand Oaks, California. My birth mother's name is Anna Maria, and I still don't know my birth father's name. She was 17 when I was born, and until recently, my parents have kept my birth mother's name from me. The reason I call them my birth parents is because I am adopted. I have known I was adopted ever since I can remember, and ever since I can remember, I have felt as if something is wrong with me. That no matter what I do, I am not worth it to anyone and never would be. My own birth mother gave me up without a thought, without even trying to raise me for a second. She just sent off her own child with people she barely knew. I was a sickly child and constantly missed school, which made it harder to make friends. In 5th grade, I began to hurt myself. At first, only small things, like scratching myself and hitting things. But eventually, I began to cut myself. At home, it was no different than school. Soon, it became apparent to me that nothing would get better. I would never be happy or loved. So finally, in 6th grade, I attempted suicide. I cut my wrist as deep as I could and watched the blood pour out until everything went cold and black. The next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed, feeling weak and nearly lifeless. My parents never acknowledged what had happened. The most they told me was that I had fallen and hurt myself, so I played along. Still depressed and feeling even more worthless since I couldn't even do that right, I was briefly in therapy, until I was pulled out by my parents when the therapist could see no reason to continue. But I was still bullied for anything possible. My glasses, my braces, my hair, and my athletic ability. Anything. Finally, I found my true position in soccer and was no longer thought of as unathletic. I had found my sport and my grades were improving. I was still depressed. My home life was not the best and neither was my health. I was constantly sick or hurt and my parents treated my brother as their obvious favorite. Fast forward to 8th grade, things started to look up. My overshadowing brother was across the country at college. I was less sickly, I found my true friends, I did my best to mask my self-harm in ways that I could explain as soccer injuries, so that no one would know. I was going down the same dark path as I was back in 6th grade. Since Tomas was my only friend, he took me under his wing and introduced me to his other friends. Soon his friends became my friends, yet I was still in a dark hole of depression. Until I met my new best friend, let's call her Frida. She was me in female form, and quickly became my best friend, who I could tell anything and everything to. We became inseparable, but nothing more than friends. She did her best to pull me out of the hole I was in. Slowly, I began to self-harm less and less until it was nearly non-existent. There were a few relapses once in a while, but for the most part, I was happy. Finally. Life at home was still not the best. My parents and I constantly fought, and still do. I still have yet to know my birth father's name, and am unable to contact my birth mother due to the lack of information my parents give me. My friends promised to help me find my birth parents so I could get closer and find answers, but still no such luck. I still relapse occasionally and fall back into the hole, but now there is someone to help me up. Despite all this, as of my junior year, this year, with the help of my new therapist and my friends, I can finally say that I am happy.
It's getting better all the time. I used